And a very fine skater he is too. From the Ukraine, Viktor Petrenko. Olympic champion in 1992 and also world champion in 1992. He came back for the European Championships this year and is the European champion of 94. One of the most exciting and gracious skaters that there is. Beautiful start. Tremendous height on the triple axel and the double toe loop that followed, but the height on that axel. And that was a very strange looking loop. Triple loops was okay. As was that toe salco flip. Certainly has style and presentation. Triple flip, the first one of the two jumps. Triple axel, double toe loop. It came off beautifully. He is very pleased, and the audience very receptive. Victor has a great style, a marvelous presence on the ice. Well, perhaps some of the items were not as good athletically, but artistically, the way he presented them, they really were good. And the Ukrainian flags flying high. He moves around the ice so well. The presentation really is something very special indeed.
And most of it done facing the judges. He went to the opera for his music, from Cavalleria Rusticana, from Rigoletto and La Traviata.
The next group may take the ice for the 6
except
minutes
for
warm-up
one
period.
extraordinary loop that he pulled out of, put it all together with some style. Thought a lot about the triple flip here. He's had better running edges than that. The double toe loop that followed. And he comes, the forward jump, the axel, and toe loop again following. The moment Browning has proved to be the best free skater, Boitano second and Cousins third, but of course their positions in the technical program counts in 2 marks, but 5.9 technical merit given by the Romanian judge, and a whole string of 5.7s. Where will that move him up? In the overall competition, Boitano, Cousins, Browning is the order.
5.7, 5.7.
Artistic marks have got to be very good. There's a 6 from Romania. Well, that could be expected after the 5.9 for the technical mark. 5.8 from Japan, 5.8 from Denmark and France, 5.8 from Great Britain, and the Olympic champion is in the lead, followed by the world champion Kurt Browning, followed by the 1988 Olympic champion Brian Boitano, and followed by the British champion Stephen Cousins.
Well, of course, Robin, you predicted that could happen tonight.
Well, I think, you know, it was to be expected these 3 would be where they are, but I think they're in the right order as far as I'm concerned. I think Petrenko has a quality that no one else can match, and it's quite nice to see this happen tonight. And but there's someone we're going to speak to who I think has done an equally amazing job today. I think
exactly.
Steve. Well done, Steve.
British champion.
And look at the former Olympic champions and world champion, if only they hadn't have had so many problems in the technical program. Ermanov wins, Stoico second, Philippe Candeloro of France in 3rd place, and Stephen Cousins, super performance. He's in the world's top 10. He finishes in 9th place, and we look forward to him building on that in the World Championships to come, and indeed the home World Championships in Birmingham next year.
Now from the Ukraine, Irina Romanova, Igor Yaroshenko. They were 7th in the European Championships in Copenhagen, 7th in the world last year, and lying 7th in these Olympics as we come to their original dance. number, smoothly done, and again some quite novel little moves through the legs and around them by Irina Romanova and Igor Yeroshenko. They have certainly got plenty of movement amongst it, and reflective of their coach Natalia Linichuk. Of course, he was world champion just before Jane Torval and Christopher Dean with Gennady Karponosov.
That's the Olympic success in 1980 when Jane and Chris were in 5th place. This couple from Kiev obviously not had the experience of the others, only one world championship. And the judges would have noted a number of differences in quality. Even so, some original moves, a lot of movement there. And she kept a running edge all the way, no difficulty in terms of carrying out the move. Question where they're going to be in relation to the Canadians. French at the moment 3rd behind the 2 Russian couples. Pick up a couple of 5-4s from Belarus and Ukraine. Low point 5-1 from France. French couple currently in 3rd place. Again, very little movement between the compulsory dances and on to the original dance, although we now have clear leaders, Usova and Zulin. Presentation marks for the couple from the Ukraine. High point there, a couple of 5-5s. That puts them overall with the compulsories, the original, and their position is in 4th behind the French.
Yes, the champions of Ukraine, Irina Romanova, Igor Yeroshenko. They were lying 7th after the compulsories and the original. Last year's World, they finished 7th. They were 7th in the Europeans in Copenhagen this year. Irina Romanova, Igor Yavashenko, representing Ukraine, and in the style that has certainly been set, and most of the dancers have been performing the same type of program. Fast, interpreting the music nicely, and some small lifts, remembering that the man mustn't bring his hands above the level of his shoulders when he lifts his partner off the ice. We saw a couple of lifts there, and he was well within the limits of doing that. Another smooth program from a former Soviet country.
The rules say that it shall not be a show number, but music from a show is allowed. Music there drawn from Cabaret by John Kander, and nicely interpreted. Wouldn't incidentally be allowed to hear the voice of Liza Minnelli, because it must be orchestral, vocals not allowed. Nice steps together. It's not the most tidy piece of their program, that.
Vi får karakterene først teknisk verdi. 5,5, 5,4, 5,5, 5,6.
Technical merit marks has 2 5.6s from Belarus and from France, and 5 5s as well. Low point 5.3 from the German judge. 5.7 from France. 5 6s. They're in second place overall, so as before, no movement in the order. There is a quite extraordinary symmetry, except among the top 3, Jane Torvling.
And this young lady from Odessa is just 15 years of age. In the Europeans, she was 15th. She skated very well in the technical program, was 8th, but went back in the free skating. Triple loops, double toe loop. Had to slow down considerably between the 2 jumps, but she made them both. And she's missed the double axel. That's what she was going to take off then, and unfortunately, that won't count. Double flip. And a neat layback spin. It was a very nice combination spin at the end there to finish the program. What a pity she made that one very evident error. in the double axel, where she went to make the takeoff, but lost her edge and fell before she took off. The other jumps, the triple lutz and the double toe, were very good, as was the double flip. But that's going to cost her.
Yes, it's a pity, as you said, Alan, she didn't actually take off. Had she just fallen and had the presence of mind to put in the double axel later, she would have been able to score for it. This was the combination, the triple lutz and double toe. Thought about it a lot, but it's an interesting comparison with the hugely experienced Katarina Witt, 28. This young lady is only 15. That's why, see, she didn't take off. But she didn't have the presence of mind to put in the axle later. Her other jump was the double flip. Layback spin. There's Miss Ivanova, a more difficult combination than Katarina Witt. Very much a soulmate of Oksana Bayul. They've been training together and having a lot of fun on the ice together. 3 here from Ukraine. Now let's see what she gets. Only 4 from Great Britain, up to 4.8 from Japan. Well, she loses 0.5 automatically on the required elements for not doing the double axel.
4-0, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, 4-3.
It's a shame for her, but I think this is a skater to watch.
Thank you.
She has a nice style. Valentin Nikolaev, splendid in the bow tie. Presentation marks. She goes up to 5-3 from Japan. Judge from that country obviously likes her well. And good spread of 5-0s too. She'll be disappointed, but she has plenty of time.
On the ice,
Ismail having to wait because we just noticed some flowers on the other side of the rink, which a young lady had to go and collect. But Oksana, another one of the youngsters, 16 years of age, who created a sensation last year in her first World Championship. She became the champion. She was second in Europe last year. She was second in Europe this year. Representing the Ukraine, the Ukrainian champion. And now we all take a deep breath and see what this young lady can produce in the Olympic Games. Triple lutz double toe, but the landing on the triple lutz wasn't very, very good. It looked as though it was very close to being 2-foot. That is a very good spin. She's done the jumps, her presentation and her spins are very good. Very quick steps on that circular sequence. Sequence of combination of spins. Oksana Bayul. She's happy it's over. Well, there's just that question about the triple Lutz landing. That's the only question in the program. The rest of it went through very well, all very smooth, very nicely presented, and her spins excellent. Well, she moved around the ice so nicely, as she did last year. And she knows how to present almost everything, even taking applause. So Oksana Bayul. We'll have to see now what the judges think.
And the judges, of course, only get one look. They have no advantage of looking at a replay. Kalina Zmeskaya, coach now. Well, I think she came down on 2. But how many of the judges, particularly the judge right up at the other end of the rink? Chance to see. She's always very close, as I think I said at the during the warm-up, to landing on 2 skates. Her spinning was delightful. Her interpretation of Tchaikovsky, equally delightful. She had no further problems as far as jumps were concerned. Circular step sequence, very, very quick. Well, 5.7, 5.8, down to 5.4 from Czechoslovakia. Then the 5.7s, 5.6s down to 5.5.
Wide elements, 5.7,
So a high point from Poland.
5.7, 5.7.
German judge is the one on the right as we look.
5.5. Thank you.
May have had the best view. Presentation 5.9 from Great Britain, matched by Ukraine, matched by China, matched by Japan, and by Canada, and by Germany, and that takes her into the lead above Suya Bonelli.
5.8, 5.7, 5.9, 5.9, 5.8.
So the world champion at the moment has the edge over the 4-time European champion. This lady will have something to say about that. But how much is she feeling the injury? We'll know a lot from her first jump, which is the triple Lutz, if she sticks with her program.
There's 3 stitches in her shin after the collision with Tanya Savchenko, the German champion, who certainly hurt her side. And both of the girls were very shaken up after that collision in the training program. But now, Oksana, world champion and European silver medalist for the last 2 years, second after the technical program. But at the moment, she's joined on the ice by 2 young ladies who are looking for any bits and pieces that came out of all those flowers that were thrown onto the ice for Nancy Kerrigan. I don't think I can ever remember as many flowers being thrown on. And this, of course, is delaying Oksana's fall. But the young ladies have now gone off, leading this young lady, who's only 16. And remember, she created a sensation last year when she won the World Championship in '93 at her first appearance in a World Championship. Representing Ukraine, and now ready for the start. is a triple Lutz. Good height and good length. And that's a triple flip. Her feet were very close together as she landed. That's a good spin. Very nice triple loop. Triple salto there. Flying sit spin. Triple toe. And double axel. And another little jump afterwards. Well, she's obviously happy. Didn't make any positive or evident errors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 triple jumps. Applauded by Victor Petrenko, as you saw, looking over the barrier there. But not only did she put in quite a lot of technical content, but she also put the artistic side in and interpreted the music well. It's going to be a tough one for the judges to sort that because of the technical content she had between her and Nancy. It's going to be very interesting to see.
The dancer on ice, both classic and modern. Hits from Broadway, performed with great style. This was the opening jump, the triple Lutz, and from that moment on, I think we could say that a competition which has been bedeviled by debate about injury, even before it started, is not going to be decided by injury. That looked pretty close to being a two-footed landing on the triple flip. And unlike Nancy Kerrigan, she didn't have a combination jump. That was the triple loop, but she did have a sequence at the end. First set of marks surely will favor Kerrigan. But what about the second set? Delight from Gordieva, Grinkov, Petrenko, Russian and Ukraine camp. This lady from Ukraine. Technical merit marks. Well, she gets a 5.9 and a 5.5. Now look at that for a variation. Kerrigan had 6 5.8s. I don't think so for Oksana Bayul. Galina Chmeskaya, her coach, and the world champion thinks it's gone. Artistic impression marks are good. 6 5.9s. That's exactly the same as Kerrigan. But the other marks are better, and Oksana Bayul, look at the split of the judges, is in the lead. She's ahead of Kerrigan. The tears would seem to be tears of joy in the end. But there are still others to come who can make the decision altered by the judges. Bayul leads from Kerrigan. And here now is the young champion of Germany.
Tanya Sevchenko, who was in the training collision with Oksana Bayul. Well, if she skates as well as Bayul, there we go. She was 5th in the technical program and finished 5th in Europe overall. Triple loop there. And there's a triple Lutz. Both feet very close to each other on the landing. Toe loop. You might have noticed that she's jumping off her right foot as opposed to her left foot, as most of the skaters do. Triple loop, double loop. Spin right on the spot. Oh, the landing on that triple loop wasn't too good. She fell off the landing on that triple toe loop. Good spin. axel, double toe. I don't think Tanya will be completely satisfied with that, because there were small errors and some 2-foot landings. Some of the jumps not as she had intended them to be. But she moved around the ice nicely, and it'll be very interesting to see how the judges take that up.
Well, the young German champion, knowing that the great German champion is coming to follow, she goes the other way around, and landing on the flip wasn't so good. But as we look at her replays, I think I should remind you of what happened in the ice dancing competition in Copenhagen. This is by no means over. Bayul has 5 first places with the judges at the moment, and 2 other judges have her in 3rd place. Kerrigan has 4 first places and 5 second places. It's the position that the judges place at the end that counts, the majority who place the winner first. So it is complicated at this stage and is not over, and the next skater, Surya Bonali, could, by her performance, change the position of Bayul and Kerrigan, or even place herself ahead of them. Anyway, the technical marks for the young German champion, 5.7 is the high point, and a couple of 5.4s, the low point. 5.7 from the United States, the high point of the artistic mark. Obviously, they're not as good as the recent marks we've been watching, and she is in 5th place. 2 more skaters to go, and the next on the ice, the lady with very high technical world champion from Ukraine is also the Olympic champion by a whisker from Nancy Kerrigan, who is in 2nd place, with Lu Chen of China in 3rd. Bonali, as 2 years ago, out of the medals again. Sato in 5th, Sevchenko in 6th, and going down, Charlene von Seer finished in 15th place. Tonya Harding, her final position, 8th behind Katarina Witt, so she moved up 2 places, and there's confirmation of what I said about the British champion is 15th.
The award ceremony will take place in approximately 5 minutes.
Certainly an eventful free programme there, Robin. Not the dream ending for Nancy Kerrigan.
But what I actually predicted this afternoon, I thought that Nancy was going to have a good skate. I actually thought when she popped the first triple and did a double flip, I thought this could be the end, but then she really did compose herself and pull off the other triples. But I was waiting for Bayul. She produced something that is magical. She is a magical performer that sort of, I think, gives her that edge over Kerrigan. And Bonali didn't produce the goods, and my 1, 2, and 3 prediction was actually as it turned out.
Let's hear from Nancy very briefly. The silver medalist gave her opinions as she came off the ice. This is what she had to say.
Nancy, congratulations. That was a
rough agenda for her, and not only did she have the pressure of sort of potentially being the richest sportswoman in the world, it's the enthusiasm of the crowd, so she's got as much support as she has pressure to do the job tonight. And for someone who usually cracks under half the amount of pressure, I think she did an incredible performance.
Well, we'll analyse how Oksana Bayul took the gold in just a moment, but the evening started with all that drama surrounding Tonya Harding some time ago.
She's got this agenda, got to do it.
Well, we'll be going back live to the medal ceremony in just a moment, but first let's look at who will be wearing that gold medal. Oksana Bayul, it was a superb routine, wasn't it? She's so expressive.
Well, I just find that the maturity of this age, and I think one of the most important things to remember is also this is only her 2nd year of international competitions at all. She made her international and world debut last year at the World Championships and won. To have this type of composure, not only just as an international competitor, but certainly after getting 3 stitches in your foot, finding out only this afternoon that you were actually pronounced fit to perform, and to produce the type of material she produces, it's across the board, to me, the best. I mean, the quality of the jumps is beautiful. There's air and there's lift. The edges are used. One of the nice things for me as a skater is that the difficulty of and originality of the spins and the jumps and the footwork and the choreography are of equal importance to her. So the total package is what's there. I mean, Kerrigan has a beauty and a grace about her, but the spins are the same spins that are done by other girls. The jumps are of textbook quality, but there isn't that what I call the it factor. And this child just is it. I mean, she has the potential, I think, to stay at the top now for a good 4 or 5 years to come, if not longer.
And she's been brought up in that skating environment, hasn't she?
Well, I mean, I can't think of anyone better as a mentor than to be training alongside with Victor Petrenko, and they have the same coach. She lives with Victor's coach, and you know, for the past year that he's gone back to the amateur training, he's been working and living with them in Odessa, and you know, she's, as far as I'm concerned, he's sort of the greatest male figure skater at the moment in terms of packaging. So, you know, the two of them together are obviously a winning combination.
She did so well tonight, because if you think of the pressure from yesterday, what happened when she's got stitches in her right leg, and obviously the warm-up didn't go well. She wasn't able to complete her program yesterday.
It's been interesting because she has been the one skater all week who has not been having good practices, but you know, she loves to skate. She comes off after practice last year in a training camp that I was at, and you know, it was a disastrous practice, but she said, I don't care if I fall, I still love to skate. I love to fall because I like to have my skates on my feet. I feel lost without them. And it's very evident that, you know, the pressure is on. She knows she's got to produce the material. She knows she doesn't have the technical ability in combination jumps that the other girls have, but there's a quality about the stuff that she has that makes her that much better. And you know, there were mistakes in this program. You know, the 1 triple flip was not clean, but there's so much that she has going for her. I mean, the changing in personality, the change of tempo, and you know, really, some people might think the program is actually a bit of a mismatch because there's so many different changes of style and music, but it matches because she changes, and her quality of skating doesn't change. Everything changes sort of within the context of having something to show. She made an error early in the program here. She did the double toe loop instead of the planned triple. She's obviously looking at someone there in the corner, but she came back and threw another one in, you know, 30 seconds, 15 seconds before the end of the program. That takes guts at this level to sort of have the brain power to know what I need to do. You know, you don't leave the judges knowing that the last thing you did was pop a triple jump. You leave them remembering you did one more, and she did.
Certainly older than her years, isn't she? But I mean, you can see the technical side of it and how good it is, but to the untrained eye, just her expression and her moves are so...
She is having fun, and never once does she make you sit on the edge of your seat wondering if she's going to land. And I think, you know, that's the whole point of years and years of training. Here's the triple that she threw in. Thank you, and I can go home now, she says. You know, you train all year to make it look as easy as possible, and I think, you know, this is a chance for me to sort of get my... People say that figure skating or ice dancing doesn't belong in the Olympics because it's not a sport. We train all year to make it look easy, and that's part of the fun, is that with someone like Oksana Bayul, you have no idea how hard they are working when you see them skate like this.
But it's so important also to produce on the big occasion, and
Absolutely.
she's proved it.
She doesn't have that many. She hasn't had that many occasions this year where she's been able to go internationally against the likes of Kerrigan and Bonnelly. And I think the only time they all met before, Bayul was the one that was missing when Kerrigan won. So, you know, the European Championship, she didn't win. She, you know, she wasn't pleased with the performance, although it was a good performance. And I'm thrilled for her. I think she's delightful and got a great career ahead of her.
A lot of bottled up emotion there as well. At the end we saw the image of her. She thought she'd lost it, and
she thought she'd lost it. Yeah, I mean,
judges got it right, did they, you think?
Absolutely. I think it's one of those that, yes, there's going to be a preference on the technical side because maybe, you know, they think the quality of the jumps with Kerrigan is better. But for me, the package of the spins are of equal importance, the choreography itself, the steps, that I would have had her first, definitely.
You were pretty chuffed with the skater who came third as well, weren't you?
I have a soft spot for Lulu. I've had the privilege of choreographing and working with her for the last 2 summers in California, and I was biting my teeth the other day and my nails when she almost went into the wall. So I was thrilled for her tonight. I mean, that was a good skate for her. And there's someone else, you know, these youngsters, these 16 and 17-year-olds, who I think are only starting. I think Bayul's still got a lot to offer that we haven't seen yet.
It's been a rough few weeks for the sport of figure skating, for the sport of ladies figure skating in particular. It's emerged with great credit tonight, isn't it?
Well, we've seen some suspect things all through, from the pairs right the way through the men's, through the dance, and now the ladies. I mean, what I think is wonderful is that it isn't cut and dried. There are a lot of opinions out there, and there is a lot of skating that is so diverse that it's causing a lot of opinions. There was a time when skating was so samey that you could predict who was going to win because there was no one trying anything new. There was no one who had anything to say. Now we have 4 or 5 girls, 4 or 5 dance couples, 4 or 5 men who all have something so different to say. It does come down to who produces on the night, and I think it's very healthy.
We've got the medal ceremony coming up live in a few minutes for the moment, thanks Robin, but from now on we don't really have to worry about marks because the competition is over. Tomorrow it's the gala, and we'll have that for you 5:15 tomorrow evening on BBC 2, featuring of course Jane Torville and Christopher Dean and Bolero. Yes, they're still doing it. They're still practicing it as well. This was... Now I think they're almost ready for the medal ceremony of the Ladies Figure Skating Championship. Let's return live to Hamar. Barry Davis.
Well, there's been just a small delay before the presentation. But of course everybody knows who's been watching on television about the outcome, but there's been no announcement officially made, although there has been the opportunity here at the Olympic Amphitheatre in Hamar to look up at the board and see the current positions. Whether they've kept them right up to the end, I'm not sure, because the International Skating Union haven't liked that in the past. So it may be that there are plenty waiting here who don't actually know who has won. But of course, we do. Oksana Bayul, the victor, the world champion, is also the Olympic champion. Nancy Kerrigan, except perhaps for her first jump, the triple that she turned into only a double, and worried, I'm sure, every American in the audience, has no reason to reproach herself. The one who will be most disappointed among all those skaters, I think, will be Surya Bonali, who did not find her real form when it mattered most. 2 years ago, when she was skating on home ice, as it were, at Albertville in France, she probably wasn't ready, but here she had every chance of being on the podium. She's the one that's changed in terms of the last World Championship, when Bayul was first, Bonali was second, and Chen, as she is now, was third. Katarina Witt, I think she would probably have settled for the position that she's finally ended up in, although I'm sure she would like to have beaten her younger compatriot, Tanya Sevchenko. Tonya Harding there 8th, and Charlene von Seyer at 15th. It's been an announcement that there was to be a delay, but no reason has been given. One presumes it has nothing to do with laces and boots, with which the evening started with Tonya Harding. At these games, but I'm afraid there's one here. I don't know whether they resolved it, but they cannot find, as we look at the younger members of the Norwegian royal family, they cannot find the recording of the national anthem of Ukraine. And the result is that Lu Chen and Nancy Kerrigan are waiting in the kiss and cry area. Oksana Bayul is down in the dressing rooms, and there's some doubt about how they go ahead with the ceremony. I don't know whether we can ask Viktor Petrenko and Oksana Bayul, who have skated together in a gala, to give us a vocal version, but they are struggling to know what to do about the fact that the winner's anthem has gone missing. The crowd have now been told this, This is one of the skaters who performed earlier, Laetitia Hubert, finished third of the French. Marie-Pierre Leray did rather better. And the most vaunted, yes, we've seen you now, or you've seen us now, the most vaunted Surya Bonali did not do herself justice. Laetitia is up in the commentary area, just behind us. It's been a pretty common experience. That's Kerrigan's coaches waiting in the background, and the silver and bronze medalists wait in the kiss and cry area. The gold medalist is out of view, and the anthem yet to be found.
The final twist in tonight's events, I think, Robin, but they probably had the stars and stripes laced up for the last couple of days, and the Ukrainian anthem was rather taken them by surprise. Would be the first gold for Ukraine in these Olympics, but we'll bring you that medal ceremony just as soon as it happens. Let's hope it's not going to be too far away. In the meantime, we're going to...
Davis won.
The gold medal placed around the neck of Oksana Bayul.